Rein in your overactive imagination, or I will do it for you.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
All right, so we're this is a new movie week, right? New.
That's
movie.
right.
I'm not sure why I'm asking you that. You know that already.
I'm aware.
Okay. One of these days, I'm going to ask you and be like, "What? Oh shit! I thought we were doing part two of."
I thought we were just hanging out. I thought we were having a game night. ITMT board game coming soon this fall.
2022 fall. Oh, you just bumped up the timeline. Okay. All right. It's recorded, so therefore it is.
Therefore it is. Right.
Therefore it is. This is the way. All right. So new week, new movie. If you listen to our last episode, which you should, because honestly, I'm going to pat ourselves on the back. It's probably one of our best episodes we've done.
Couldn't agree with you more.
The lucky one. Go listen to it. Came out.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Eric. I told him to listen to the episode that came out as we record this today. I like to date the podcast, as we all know.
Thank you.
The Lucky One Part 2 came out today, so go listen to it. But I was like, oh, Eric, you get a shot. I know you don't listen to the podcast, but in the podcast today, I told you that you don't listen to the podcast, and I shouted you out. So you should listen to it. And he was like, oh, I will. So double shout out for them not listening to the podcast, but also listening to the podcast. But I said it in the episode.
And now you get to tell him again that you called and gave him a shout out. So this is going to be a continuing loop.
That's right. That's the idea. That's how we get listeners.
That's how we get listeners.
It's called the feedback loop.
Man, sometimes I love where your mind's at.
Mm-hmm. Marketing.
Marketize Friday. It's not even Friday.
Marketize.
Yeah, because we're not dating this podcast because whatever day it is.
Fuck it. It is Friday. Yeah, it's Friday right now, I bet. Wherever you are. It's Friday somewhere, baby.
Some planet, some country. It is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, new movie.
Yeah, this is going really well.
I'm having a great time. So new movie. And if you listen to, that's right. If you listen to last week's part 2 at the end, if you made it all the way through, you would know what movie we're doing this week.
We teased it. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, man.
I didn't get to the end.
Yeah, we're getting professional over here. You didn't make it to the end of our own podcast.
No, I got like 3/4 way through and I was like, oh, pretty good.
You were there.
I know. Yeah. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you do so much editing that who knows what happens.
Yeah.
Every episode that we record is like 9 hours long and Russ edits us down like an hour and a half. So he's doing the best he can.
Yeah. It's what some would call a thankless job.
That's right. It's very thankless. Well, I say thank you every week.
You do. It's true. You give me compliments.
That's right.
All right. So new movie. Why don't you tell everyone what we're doing?
We are watching Brazen.
Brazen. How many times? I'm going to say that a lot, by the way. So get ready for
I
that.
hope not.
Yeah. Brazen. California Brazens.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a long 3 episodes. I mean, our intro was 7 minutes. So
I'll chop that down to about 6 1/4. So we're good.
I did not read the log line here before I watched the trailer, so I don't know what the log line is. This is my first time reading it.
Okay. Well, you won't be surprised.
When her sister is killed and her double life as a webcam performer is revealed, Grace ignores the warnings of a cool-headed detective and gets involved in the case. I need glasses.
Yeah.
It's so tiny. I like to look at your face while we record, so I keep the notes tiny, but maybe I should tiny your face.
Because you want a little reaction shot.
Yeah. Right. That's right. It gives me that's my compliment. Your reaction.
Thanks. But that's not. So how does that summary logline make you feel?
Confused because it's written poorly, the first half.
Most are, but
this one especially because I think the subject is confused. So it's like when her sister is killed and her double life as a webcam performer is revealed.
Yeah. So
it's making it sound like it's the main character.
Right. But when you watch the trailer, it's
her sister.
It's her sister. Right. So
I'm frustrated already.
Can't wait to read the book.
Are you going to read the book?
You're going to read the book.
I'm going to read the book?
My book.
I mean, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Oh, the
this
book.
This movie's based on a fucking book.
It definitely is, and it's very meta. By the way, we'll talk about it when we get there in the trailer, but it's a very meta situation. Yes. So
it's upsetting. I hate that. Also, they do a bad job of that too.
Yes. And by the way, when I say meta, I don't mean the social media company.
No, sponsored by. No, not sponsored by. Exclusively not. Enemy of the pod.
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Zucky McZuckster. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Have a good. I said good day.
Have a good and have a good day, sir. Okay.
So Brazen, huh?
Yeah. All right. So
I was stoked about this one. I think I suggested this as soon as it came out originally. Remember, because I'm a big Alyssa Milano fan.
I was just going to say we're both big. We talked about the end of part 2 of our last episodes for the Lucky One, which you forgot.
Milano heads.
We're big Milano heads. So
we talked about. Yeah, I forgot completely, but we did.
Do you like Milano cookies?
Love them.
Yeah.
Thais, huge fan also. News of the pod. As I date this podcast, Thais and I are engaged now.
Hey, wow.
Shout out to Thais and the pod.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, buddy.
I
like to keep the listeners apprised of our personal lives.
Yeah. Makes them feel involved.
That's right. Okay. So my fiance Thais is hugely a fan of Milano's.
You got to upgrade. Do I have to go back through all the old episodes now and place out where you say girlfriend with fiance?
That's right. It's a thankless job.
Yep, it certainly is.
No. From this stage forward, my future wife Thais.
My future wife. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so sorry in advance to everyone because I will say that 1,000 times whenever we do get married.
Yeah.
The podcast will keep going, but
that's awesome news, man. I'm happy for both of you.
Thank you. So Milano cookies, huge fan. Alyssa Milano, huge fan. We decided.
Yes. So double Milanos, we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what we're getting into for this new movie. This is our trailer trash episode. We're going to watch a trailer and tear it apart. But before we get to the tearing of part of the trailer,
let's tear apart our friends.
Yeah. Fan service. Do we have any? What do we got?
That's right. We do. I know. Ask and you shall receive, which we always ask and sometimes we receive.
Yeah.
So shout out to my sister, longtime listener and several time writer into the pod.
Yeah.
Sent us an email, which I appreciate because as we all know, listeners, I'm sure you're well aware, I don't always get it right. I stand by everything I've ever said, but
I stand by everything you've ever said too. And I think it's just a point of perspective if you got it right or wrong.
That's right. And so my sister has a beautiful, correct perspective in this email. She subject line: Babes in Toyland. Again, one of my favorite 80s, 90s bands.
Keanu Reeves films of all time.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
Both. And he begins. Hi, Russ and Jared. Everyone always puts you first.
Yeah, I don't. It's maybe. Oh, you know why? Because the intro of the show, I say I'm Russ, and you say
I write the descriptions, and I do it too.
Yeah. So.
And I signed up for all those services, and I think I billed this as Russ and Jared. Well.
Hey, man.
All right, you're first.
Okay.
Age before beauty.
That's what I was going to say.
She begins. In Jared's Ghosts of Girlfriends Past pitch, which
that's a lot of
good reference a couple episodes ago.
Yep. Should go check it out. Hunter McConaughey.
He mentions that he loved Babes in Toyland as a kid. You discuss the 1986 version. I really need glasses, huh?
Yeah. What's going on there? You okay?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't see. I'm on a new computer. I think it's smaller than my last computer.
It's a new pooter. Okay.
Yeah, new pooter. Who dis? The 1986 version with Drew Barrymore and Keanu Reeves. However, the 1961 version was the staple in the DeLuca family home. Wow. And she's right. It was. What a blunder, huh? What a blunder.
25 years off. Okay. All right.
I mean, I've also seen the Keanu Reeves version, obviously, but I forgot that as kids, the one that we watched 1,000 times was the 1961 version.
Okay.
So she continues. This version was all caps fantastic.
Yelling at us. She's yelling at us how fantastic it was. Okay. All right.
I may have had many nightmares about the kidnapping scene, but I would still insist that this version is far superior. And Ed Wynn as the toy maker is, quote, chef kiss. Check it out.
All right.
So she's right. I completely forgot. What a mistake.
Yeah. Well, they just, you remembered the last thing you could think of, which was 86. So
right. Well, I mean, I do still love the premise of Babes in Toyland. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Ed Wynn. Shout out to Ed Wynn. Rest in peace.
Yeah, probably not alive anymore.
No, died shortly after the movie was made, actually.
Yeah.
1966 he died.
So. Oh no, what have I done?
Yeah. Esophageal cancer. He hates to
okay. Yeah, that's the way to bring the show down.
I do what I can. Anyway, thank you, Elizabeth. Great email.
Solid transition. That was Go ahead.
Yeah, good segue into send us an email like Elizabeth did. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We'll read it here in our segment that we do every week.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Listen and also send.
All right. Well, let's trash the trailer. Yeah, get into it. Now, did you think this opened too hot for you? Was this too hot of an opening? Too hot to handle, too cold to hold?
No. Beautifully hot, I think.
Yeah. Beautifully
great scenery, very subtle. Was
very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah, a little DC sunset, got the
gorgeous.
The pool and the thing.
In the Washington Monument. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It was like the monument of one of those guys. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so we got a shot of DC, so we're in DC.
And then we get voiceover from Melissa Milano.
Which, I'm going to throw it out there, DC, I mean, we should get an idea that this is probably going to move up the ladder in term. I'm prognosticating already. I'm sorry.
God. Save it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. We get voiceover from Melissa Milano. She didn't expect to die that night. She had no enemies that she knew of. Meanwhile, we see a woman walking around her presumable house in pajamas and, just doing a little...
She, at first, I'll be honest, I thought that was Alyssa Milano, and I thought that the sister was going to be like a twin sister thing because she looked a lot like her. Yeah.
It's just good casting.
And then later on, when they showed a close-up of her as a teacher, I was like, oh, wait, that's not Alyssa Milano.
One thing I can't fault this movie for is great casting.
Well, it's got
Alyssa Milano.
It's just, okay, right, okay.
So she continues, her life was pretty unremarkable. And while that's happening, somebody scary is at the window looking in of this house.
Did you see the close-up of the bracelet, by the way? It was
No.
It was like really obvious. So we got to keep an eye out for that bracelet.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that part.
As soon as this trailer starts, I'm in investigative mode. We are going to solve this crime before the movie ends.
Oh, immediately not interested in the crime. I don't care what happens here already.
Okay.
I can see why this is 15% on Rotten Tomatoes already.
15, yikes.
One of the worst we've done recently. I think lately we've been hovering around the 30 mark.
Trying to feel better about ourselves, but no.
Yeah, we're dipping again.
so we get a shot of someone breaking in, and this is while Alyssa Milano's character, the sister, she is doing a reading at a book release, right? Book release party.
Soon to be announced sister. Yeah, I have no clue who Alyssa Milano is at this point.
Well, I mean, if you read the log line ahead of time, you would, but yes.
Did not.
Okay.
I went in blind and I liked it that way.
And then she's still doing this voiceover. Obviously, the book is kind of following along with what is happening in real life, right?
Yeah. And it's very like, romantic. Like, well, what if she had a secret life?
Yeah. And then the guy, that's assumption. It's the person who broke into the house, right? Comes up behind her and strangles the sister. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like Garrett's her.
Yeah. Good old Garrett's, right?
Classic Godfather.
And then we cut back to the book reading and we've got just all the fans hanging on every word, right?
Mostly older women. So like this, I'm getting a vibe now for this movie. Fine. Because I did not read the log line. So I'm like, oh, now I know what this movie's about.
And then all the fans are sitting there, they're hanging on every single word. She finishes up and something more sinister, a lot more dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And she closes whatever the book and everyone's applauding. Yay. Closes the book.
Meanwhile,
and we see, the book that she closes is Grace Miller. I'm assuming she is the author, Grace Miller, right?
Yes. But also I was gonna say that like while that's happening, before she closes the book, I think is when they show the woman in the dark red room getting dragged around.
Oh, yes.
Which is the person who's getting murdered a minute ago. So like,
yeah,
actually getting murdered this time the whole way.
Yes. A full murder, not just a partial murder. Right.
And then Brazen Virtue is the book by,
which is the actual title of the actual book that this movie is adapting. Did you know that?
Right. I did know that.
Okay.
But I'm pissed about it.
I am too.
For several reasons, but we'll get to it, I guess. Or unless we want to do it right now.
I don't know. Does it make sense to do it later or do it now?
No, I guess we could do it now. I was going to say, because the book is by Nora Roberts. Why isn't the character's name Nora Roberts?
Well, I mean, that's right. It's a little spot on, right?
And why isn't the movie named Brazen Virtue?
Because Brazen Virtue is a pretty bad name, but I mean...
Oh, yeah. But also, why take half of the name of the book?
Yeah. All right. So that's the name of the book, the actual book, and the book in the movie.
Yeah. And
then we cut to a title card. A Netflix film.
So then I wrote, some woman comes home looking for Kathleen, but Kathleen's dead on the floor. Because at first I was like, is that Alyssa Milano?
I did the same thing, but then I was like, oh wait, are they twin sisters? And I was like, twin sister comes home. It's like, wait, hold on, what? So we're all a little off here, but come on, trailer. And then
runs outside and screams.
As one does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to another title card based on the novel Brazen Virtue by Nora Roberts. Did you know she has written 225 books?
What? That's like, well, I'm going to get to prognostications. I was going to say that's like R.L. Stein output.
That's like
not to hint at what I'm about to say later on.
Like 225 books. That's crazy.
Wild. Who like
that is so much. That's so many words.
Yeah. I mean, like and so my question is it 200 plus novels or is it 200 plus works? Because like Stephen King's got 60 novels and then 200 short stories or whatever.
Right.
Like what are we talking here?
More than 225 romance novels, according to the Wikipedia.
Okay. Interesting.
So
interesting. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books.
The guy I'm talking about here, R.L. Stein, only wrote like 150 books. So like that boggles my mind.
It's a lot of kissing every hour on the minute.
Yeah. I mean, you've written a book now. So like imagine that times 200.
Can't wait.
Is that what you're going for?
No.
Put out a bunch of schlock. Real crap for years. That's what I want.
I appreciate the comment that you think that what I'm going to write is really good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm assuming it's fine. At bare minimum.
Like it's like a 3 stars on Goodreads. Like I liked it.
Exactly. I'm assuming it's okay. Which, I mean.
But thanks, man. I mean, that's, yeah.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks,
it's Russ's birthday tomorrow, everyone, as we record this.
Yep. Just continue to date it.
Yeah. Not making a big deal about it this year. I don't have like any kind of special.
No, that's okay.
Things, or do I?
Oh, no. All right.
Oh, no. Does that mean I have to do something special? Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Nora Roberts, she's written a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of books. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's a lot.
Fuck you, Nora Roberts. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. All
right. So then we cut back to cop cars.
Please set the scene, if you know what I mean.
Trying to snatch my crops. And we meet our new detective, right? Intro to Detective Jennings.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
So
he looks familiar.
No, he's nobody. We don't know him. You don't know him. I don't know him.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So we're intro to Detective Jennings. He's just a guy. I don't know, generic guy. But I think he's more involved than we think because he's, like
yes, I agree. He is a main character.
Well, no, I mean, I think he's more involved in the prognosticating. Sorry, guys.
Stop doing that. You're doing it early.
I'm sorry.
I thought you meant he's like a real character. I was like, yeah, he seems like the main character besides Alyssa Milano.
but he's barely in the trailer though. He's like compared to everyone else, comparatively to everyone else. Fair enough. They're trying to throw you off the sun. Anyway, all right. So let's move on here. Come on. Then we get a shot of a secret kinky room, and then we get a title card starring Alyssa Milano.
And then this is when we get little detective interview here, which I love.
Classic.
Always in a inappropriate location. They're like sitting in the middle of some room.
Weren't they just in an office? Like they were in like a police station or like FBI or something like that.
Yeah, but it looked like they were like not in an office. They were like in an open area, like
it was
sitting in weird chairs.
Yeah, I mean, it was an open office. I mean, come on, you work at a startup. It was
open concept. Yeah,
open concept.
It did kind of remind me of the BCU office from the set of what's the show about the behavioral crime unit there?
SUV. CSI?
No.
Law and Order?
No. Criminal Minds.
Criminal
Criminal
Minds.
Minds. That's the show.
I mean, you should call it Crime Minds, but yeah.
Yeah, Crime Minds. Right. Way better name for a show.
Right?
Idiots. Idiots.
Tighten this shit up.
Yeah, but no, Crime Minds was great.
I love the concept, but the name Criminal Minds?
Yeah, very open concept.
Crime Minds.
That's what it reminded me of. Maybe they reused the set. I don't know. Hey, you know what? We'll save it for the fast facts. Did they reuse the set?
As both hosts shrug.
In many more.
Oh boy, the rails have officially departed. Yeah. All right, so
this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah. All right, so then we get the Detective Jennings here, who's got a very nice gold watch, which we see at the very end of the podcast.
Why are you paying attention to this?
His details, man. It's a crime. I'm trying to fucking solve it.
You're right. Sorry, my bad.
We're gumshoes here, right? We're trying to find Carmen Sandiego.
Listen, Gumshoe.
She's in here somewhere, that Carmen Sandiego. I've been searching her since I was 10. God damn it, she's always a step ahead of me.
I found her in the past, bro.
I was like, maybe she's in San Diego because the name, you know? No, she's not in San Diego.
That's what she wants you to think.
That's where I learned about spelunking, you know? Anyways, all right, so... the detective asks, hey, did you know about your sister's clients? Isn't that crazy? And she's like, wait, what are you talking about?
My sister was a teacher.
Are you telling me she had some secret past that I wrote this book about? I think the book reading is like the end of the movie where she wrote the book about. Anyways.
Yeah, great line delivery. Like we talked about in the last episode. Now it's all coming back to me slightly. I know Alyssa Milano from Charmed. And as we all know, she's excellent at acting. And it's on full display.
If all our listeners want to get a sense of our age difference here, Jared remembers Alyssa Milano from Charmed.
From Charmed, right?
I remember her from Who's the Boss. So
fair, yeah, totally reasonable.
Yeah, that's
totally
okay.
reasonable.
Yeah.
As a child.
Okay. All right, so then we get some.
I know Alyssa Milano as an adult.
Known her all my life.
That's right.
She practically. So, yeah, she's confused. She's like, what? She was a teacher. That's my best Alyssa Milano I've got, so.
What?
And as you've noted, yes, it cuts to a shot of her teaching, just in case we didn't believe Alyssa Milano.
Right.
Yeah, just to prove it.
Like, let's waste a scene on this in the trailer.
Yes. Let's waste a split-second cut, which this gets to being crazy after this, but...
Everyone knows Angela's the boss. We get it.
All right. So, and then detective continues on, right? And he's like, oh, she connected to clients via webcam.
Which I was like, hold up.
You had me at webcam. What's going on? I think that's how a lot of people connect to clients these days is via webcam.
Right. I mean, this movie's a product of its times.
It came out this year.
That's what I'm saying. Product of its times.
Yeah. So then we get quick shots of someone doing internet.
Yeah, I like the trailer. Got like really psychedelic, and I liked it for a second. It was like, very hackers-esque,
and cutting between, I think, the sister's character in leather and costume. But now I'm confused because then there's a shot of, isn't it Alyssa Milano taking the wig off? There's something going on here.
No, you're right. There is something going on here.
Right?
I don't understand what it is, but there's definitely something going on here.
Son of a bitch. All right. So, so then it's kind of, so there's a shot of, I thought it was Alyssa Milano in front of she was taking off a wig. So I was like, oh, maybe is she? What's going on? What is happening? You got me. You got me movie trailer. Now I'm intrigued.
You got me. I'm not actually interested, but.
And then they cut to a shot of Alyssa Milano standing in the living room with rubber gloves on. And we see the detective in there listening to her, but she's voiceover saying, I know this isn't one of my books, but I want to help on the case. This is personal. And I think cop would just be like, what? Yeah. How about a hard no? Sit home and write another book, lady. Like, just grieve, have a funeral, and just
like
we'll take care of it.
She claims to be aware that this is not a book, but also at the same time thinks that she's qualified to help.
Right.
And she's not.
She's not. Not one
Very
bit.
frustrating.
Yes. No. Just because you read a couple articles about how to be a detective doesn't mean you're a detective.
Because this is personal.
Which, of course, at that point,
it wouldn't be a movie if it wasn't.
Just because you work at a hardware store doesn't mean you know how to build a house.
That's right.
But if it's personal, then maybe you do.
No, that's exactly right.
All right. So then we get detectives visiting Fantasy Incorporated, right? Little studio here.
Good company name.
Great company name. Is it a Disney company or a porn company?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In general.
Yes. To all of that. We learned the sister's screen name, Desiree.
Becoming apparently very popular. It was said by a news person.
And she's becoming very popular. But yeah, this is the admin, the woman who's not logged into the computer screen, but she's an admin. Being like, yeah, we know. The detective asked, and he's like, oh, do you know who the identity of your performers? And and she responds. So this woman is like she must be like, obviously she's the boss of the place, whatever, CEO, whatever. We don't know, but she just is in charge. And she says, just me, my mother, and my brother.
Because it's a sexy family business.
Because it's a family business, you know?
Well, a sexy family business, yeah.
Did she say that? I don't know. She didn't say that.
No, but it's implied.
Some families get into oil. Some families get into
shenanigans. And so then apparently Kathleen had an ex-husband who was going to blackmail her about said.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
Sexy business?
I thought,
no. He was going to blackmail her.
Why?
Well, because she was doing the thing that didn't want to be exposed, you know?
I thought it was going to be her, but...
No. And even though this came out in 2022, Russ, sex work still carries a heavy stigma in our society. And I think we should all normalize sex work as a job, as a work. You know?
Sure.
Profession, as they say.
Yeah. So, but, okay. Sure. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would he blackmail her?
Because she was a teacher and also a sex worker.
Doesn't make any sense. She's not making any money probably as a teacher, which that should be rectified in this country. No. Else, but
see, good. We're doing good on the podcast.
See,
I think you're right. So you're playing dumb, so that way you can bring up a good point.
But I'm also flipping it because I would think that she would want to blackmail her own husband to be like, I think she's actually. Well, we're prognosticating now.
Yeah, of course. Well, but he's blackmailing with information, not about money. It's not about like she knows something about him that she's like, oh, you can't go to the cops about that. Maybe we're prognosticating, but like,
God damn it, it's tough. It's tough when you got the crime threat, right?
Oh, it's so hard. I want to prognosticate the whole time.
Gumshoe.
Gumshoe.
We can't gumshoe prognosticate till the end. All right. So,
what a good word,
right? Great word. Gumshoes. We're gonna be gumshoes for the next 3 episodes. All right, so then we get a quick shot of the husband walking around and him chatting with the kids. So there's kids involved. How do you speak to the husband? Blah blah. Blackmailing. But then a detective Jennings there. He's like, yeah, but his alibi is solid, right?
They're like, and Alyssa Milano was like, but I think he's hiding something.
It's like,
okay,
all right.
Yeah, probably.
So you can.
He seems like a villain.
Sure,
this movie seems stupid.
So you can just say these things, but if you have no evidence to prove that, then that means nothing. So,
right. Well, that too. Right.
Lady, go write another book. Would you get out of here? And then we get a shot of the husband though being creepy to Alyssa, and he's like,
"Well, no, before that, we get the school. So that's when we get the school, and the principal's like, yeah, she was a good teacher. We liked her. We're big sad. This kid who looks like a jock is like." Also doofus. Looks like he knows something about the murder.
Yeah, and then they do a quick cut to another kid who's like looking suspicious outside. There's people walking. And
that's when they reveal that it's all the evidence of fraud that Kathleen has been collecting.
It's a German word for fraud.
Fraud, right. Yeah. This whole time.
Fraud.
She's trying to expose Fantasy Inc. And then that's when we get the ex-husband appear. Careful, Grace. Rein in your overactive imagination, or I will do it for you.
We're going to give him a Southern accent because that just feels more
He does kind of have like a weird Southern accent. I don't care.
It's going to happen anyways. I still think that's, I don't know. I think there's, prognostic.
Every abusive husband has a Southern accent for sure. Not all abusive husbands are Southern, but they all have Southern accents.
Southern accents. You heard it here first. And then we get someone sneaking up on another woman who is not Alyssa Milano. Dude, that wasn't Alyssa Milano, right?
I don't know. There's no
it didn't look like her. I was like, I'm so confused now. And then
there's no way any of us could know.
And then we get another shot of a dead body, and then we get classic detective just being like, got ourselves a serial killer.
We got a mystery on our hands, boys. There's another, there is another woman that gets, and I started laughing because I was like, wait, it's that kind of movie?
Yeah. And then this end is just like a bunch of quick cuts. It's just trying to amp things up. The music is like someone plucking at like a violin strings. Yeah, secrets, right? We got cuts of people walking. We got a shot of a gun. We got
sexy stuff.
Yeah, Alyssa and the detective there, Jennings, getting a little steamy, you know? Got got a school wrestling mat.
Yep.
Someone getting strangled in a school, I think. And then someone getting knocked over in a convenience store, which isn't very convenient.
Right.
Someone typing. Did you catch the person who was typing?
No.
Did you see the watch on the hand?
It's
the same.
No.
It's the same
because
watch.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's the same watch as the detectives got. Anyways.
Oh.
Cars driving, doors being kicked open, and then shadow person standing at the end of a hallway like a
woman.
Yeah, like an old Western. Title card, Brazen.
Only on Netflix.
Only on the flicks.
I'm dreading this.
I mean, this isn't the reason why their stock price just dropped, but whew.
Yeah. See, you're dating the podcast now too.
Oh no.
Well, all the stocks are dropping all the time, so
that's true.
I guess it's fine.
All right, so that's it. That's the trailer for Brazen. I think we did it pretty good justice, actually. I think we served it a dose of justice that it needs.
That's right.
All right. Well, do you want to
prognosticate?
Yeah, gumshoe.
Okay, so yeah, putting my gumshoes on, I think for the listeners, I made a hat motion while I talked about my shoes. Here's what I think happens. I think, speaking of prolific authors, and earlier when I mentioned R.L. Stine, I think this movie is a Goosebumps movie where Nora Roberts, let's call her by her name, not this Grace Miller bullshit, not interested in the fake character. We're talking about you. We're calling out you, Nora Roberts, real person.
Mrs. Roberts.
I don't know. Ms. Roberts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to, yeah.
Who cares? Anyway,
yeah.
You, fuck you. But also, I predict that this movie will turn into a Goosebumps-like movie, which, did you see the recent Goosebumps? Great movies.
I did not.
Way above our pay grade in terms of Rotten Tomatoes pay grades. Because they're excellent, because they're justifiably excellent, with Jack Black playing R.L. Stine hilariously. Yeah, they're actually very good.
Okay,
like kids movies. I recommend them highly. Anyway, I hope it turns into that. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised that all of a sudden, like the premise of the first one is that the characters from his books get loose in the real world because of like magic in the books of R.L. Stine.
Yeah.
And that's how they like it turns into a horror movie. Just like this is going to be a thriller because it's the serial killers from Nora Roberts' books are coming into the real world and manifesting as the murderers that they. So I think it's a Goosebumps situation.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was another thing. What was the thing that we were talking about that we were both prognosticating on earlier that we decided to save because I can't remember the situation that was?
Who was involved? Like who did it? The cop or?
No, maybe it was about the jocks. No, the ex-husband. I don't know. Something about Double Dragon, probably. Go on.
Okay.
What's your prognostication?
I'm not even sure. I'm going to try a real attempt at it.
You don't think it's going to be a Goosebumps movie?
I don't think so.
Because I will gladly watch a Goosebumps 3. They've made 2 of them already. They were both good.
All right. So what I want and what I think are going to happen are going to be 2 different things here, right? I want it to be what you just said.
A Goosebumps movie?
Yeah.
Fair.
All right. I'm gonna take a real crack at this here. I think there's because we're in DC, remember?
Do you think it goes full Carmen Sandiego?
I think so. I think we're going full Carmen Sandiego on this.
Go on.
I'm not sure how. I think we're in DC, and I think it's going to be more. It's going to go up. It's going to be one of those things where like one of her customers was someone high up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, someone high up.
I think it's going that angle.
Yeah, we're in DC. It's going to go
the Ministry of Magic. Someone's involved.
Right. You know.
Okay.
And I think the cop he's not a good guy. I think he's
ACAB.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I don't think I think he's got to be part of it or something, right? The husband is definitely somehow involved and he knows someone who knows someone and there's someone higher up, I think, that was probably a part of this Fantasy Inc. thing and she somehow maybe connected with them and has them on video and it's gonna be like that's like
a credible prognostication.
Yeah. I told you I was going.
You're not going crazy.
No, I'm not going crazy because I can't think right now.
That's fair. That's a credible prognostication.
I'm going credible because now I'm hooked on trying to figure out who it is.
Now I'm hooked on. Does Nora Roberts make an appearance also like Goosebumps where R.L. Stine is in them?
I'll put $1 on it that she is one of her own fans in the audience.
That would be Chef's
right?
kiss.
Right?
Yeah.
And if she's not, why are we in here? What are we even doing? Why
Not interested.
Yeah.
Well, where did the 15 percentage points come from?
Yeah.
It must be that scene specifically.
Right? Like, what are you even doing here? Put yourself
That's
in
right.
the movie and put it as your fan of your own book that's a meta book of the, you know?
That's right. That's right. All the points from that.
Should we read the book before we watch the movie?
No, because we're watching the movie in 2 days.
It's going to take us like a half hour to read this.
I bet it's like a 500-page book. Look up how many pages the book is right now.
DC Detectives #2. Oh no. We probably shouldn't read the synopsis right now, right? Or maybe we should read it after we see the
don't
movie.
read the synopsis. Yeah, don't read the synopsis. Don't spoil it for you.
This is it.
279. Okay.
Come on.
That's
practically a novella. Come on.
that's like 10% of a Fanatic in terms of minutes.
This was published on May 1st, 1988.
Yeah, that's a 4-hour read. That's not too bad.
I think maybe Alyssa Milano ends up dying at the end. Call it a day.
Oh no, I hope not.
Yeah.
One of the only good reasons why we should watch this movie.
And I wonder if they were hoping that this would be like a series though. So maybe they were hoping that Alyssa Milano, like this would do well enough for like maybe this character continues.
Do we know enough about Nora Roberts to say whether her 200 books are some kind of relatively attached series, or is it like all standalone every single book?
Well, it looks like this one is this is #2 of the DC Detectives.
Well, but that doesn't mean it. What if number 1 and 3 are like
part of the DC Detectives?
Totally random.
Is DC Detectives #2?
Yeah, but like DC Detectives, they could do random cases and whatever. Like, sure, maybe it's probably got the is the detective the main character and it's not actually
but he's not
Nora
really,
Roberts?
I don't know.
Alyssa Milano is not the main character. Is that what we're getting at?
No, I'm just saying that it's just part of the detective series, and they're just like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like Jennings guy now, he can't be like a lead guy for like multiple. He's barely in this trailer,
right?
Unless they're banging.
That's how they get you. Star power.
Yeah.
They're like, guys, she was in Who's the Boss? Let's not forget.
All right.
Double Dragon. the movie version of my favorite arcade game, Double Dragon.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Double Dragon's absolutely fantastic. But I mean, I think my favorite co-op
pizzeria arcade game.
Oh, I'm going. All right, now this is real. We're getting real here now. All right, we're done with the trailer. By the way, we're done.
Did you have arcades? Yeah.
Did I have? Are you kidding me? Of course, I had arcades.
Okay, I didn't have arcades really. I had I had an arcade, but I mostly had like pizza places that had arcade games.
I'm from Connecticut, as maybe most of the listeners know here, but there was a place in Connecticut when I used to go visit my friend. It was called Pips, and there was like a chain, but I don't know if it went further than Connecticut. But it was Pips, and it was just an arcade. You went there and you had to get the Pips coins to like play all the machines and everything. So
Pips coins,
yeah, Pip coins, and you had to go and like change in your cash, and they put in $5, whatever, and you get all the Pip coins.
Imagine if it was crypto.
It's gonna be someday. And
you get your Pips coins.
But I mean, I don't know, man. Double Dragon, fantastic, love it,
top game.
But arcade co-op game, I'm going TMNT, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, that's my number 2. I think behind
like
Double
that's
Dragon,
that's pretty great. I think I think that's it, right?
Good episode, yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to this fantastic episode. We hope you learned something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back next week, though, with our full breakdown. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. And we're ITMT Pod on Twitter. But wherever you listen to us, you should subscribe, hit that button, like it, whatever.
Follow. And while you're there, you can drop us a review, especially if you're on Apple or Spotify. It means a lot to us. Thank you to everyone who's already left us a nice review, that we read them, and it means a lot to us. So we appreciate it, and it also helps us get exposed to other people. Share ITMT with a friend, as we always say. You can also send us an email if you're feeling maybe a little old-fashioned. Have an old-fashioned while you listen to ITMT.
That's a great way to enjoy us
by sending us an email, of course. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com while you drink. Yeah, ideally.
Responsibly,
right,
of course.
Responsibly, of course. Yeah. Or not at all if you so choose. That's cool too.
Well, we don't promote that.
Have a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Or you can go to our website where we have the whole ITMT back catalog, some fun facts about me and Russ. If you like some fun facts, a little biography, pictures of us. If you want to put a picture to the voices that you so lovingly subscribe to, it's thismeetsthat.com.